Hi, it's Gwyneth here on a fabulous Feel Good Friday, as ever helping you with your personal brand, digging really deep to find out what is important to you, what you enjoy, what you're passionate about, so that when it comes to marketing yourself, you're doing that with absolute confidence, just socking it to those people at the interview panel or in the business meeting, wherever you are. This week I want to tell you about a small company local to where I live. The name of the company is Reput. They're the IT specialists. And last night I went to a meeting that they had organised in the village where I live to talk about fiberglass, Glasfasern. I think it's called fiberglass. It's the internet connection that does light instead of waves. So it's much healthier and it's actually much cheaper in the long run. So, you know, I live in a tiny village. It's about 350 inhabitants, around 70 houses or so. And yeah, it's very, very beautiful, but the internet connection is absolutely rubbish. And I'm signed up with one of the large companies in Austria and frequently have telephone calls with them about the fact that they are simply not delivering the service that I am paying for. I've had all sorts of excuses like, I need to buy some more equipment to boost the signal. Why should I buy equipment for the signal that you're supposed to be giving me for this money I'm paying you? Or, well, the network is, you know, it's 95% taken up. Not my problem. I'm still paying you. Do something about it. And this has become particularly relevant now because just today, Korea, South Korea, North Korea, somewhere there, announced that they have just, South Korea, that 5G is now going to be available right across the country. Now that may sound great to you, but actually, for the, you know, what I learned last night about waves and in this 5G signal, I wouldn't actually want to go there because the signal, for the signal to be that strong, for you to get value from that signal where people, you know, in housing communities, it's going to need a small mast sort of every 20 or 30 meters. And there's no way I'm having a mast on my house, and there's no way I want my neighbours having a mast on my house. Probably it'll happen in cities, but in more rural areas, there's just no way, actually, practically, that the big companies are going to be able to, you know, give out 5G. And yeah, I do not like the health implications that potentially come with that. Anyway, I went to this big meeting last night. There were a lot of us there because clearly more and more people are watching television through the internet, YouTube, playing games, all this stuff. And the company that was presenting to us, you know, it's a small company. They're not huge, and two of their employees happen to be live in our village. We're very lucky to have them, Margot and Ewald. Hello. And so we had this thing, and their boss was going through, you know, how it's going to work, and okay, we have to dig up some stuff and all the rest of it, but actually it's a lot safer, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot faster, it's a lot cheaper. And but he was telling us how he even got to be there. And in Austria, there are a lot of subsidies to encourage this kind of technology, you know, to increase internet access right across the country. And he said that when he first heard about this, he kind of stepped back because he was convinced that, you know, larger companies were going to be stepping in and getting that money and doing something about actually helping their customers. But it didn't happen. And so he, like I said, this is not a big company. He said, okay, fine. So we went to the authorities. He found out what the process was. And in between times, he is installing this new technology in an ever-increasing area. Now, you have to consider this technology in Germany. It's so popular that they're actually having to bring people over from China to get the work done. So, and we're talking about a very, very small company here in Austria who decided against all odds that actually I'm going to do something about this. Yes, it's a fantastic business prospect, but do you know what that's going to do for his brand name? Do you know what that's going to do in 5 or 10 years' time when the big boys are potentially struggling, or they decide they want to jump on the bandwagon because there's all sorts of legalities about sharing cables and stuff? But whose name do you think is going to be remembered? Who do you think in my village and other villages where they've done this, who is going to be the IT expert and the person when they want to buy a telephone or a router or any of that stuff? It's going to be Reput. It's not going to be the big chaps. And they're growing exponentially. I mean, slowly, sensibly, but in comparison to where they were providing the small IT services versus actually going into houses with this new technology, is just huge. So the moral of my story today, again, is if you have an idea, even if you think the ocean is already saturated with other sharks, with other big companies, if you don't see anything happening, just go for it. Don't wait for other people to take over your ideas or your market share or the job that you want. Don't wait for somebody to say you should apply for that job. Just get on and do it. I know that I will only be going to the company Reput in future for anything to do with my internet, my telephone, and all the rest of it. So there we are. Now, if you happen to be at the Vienna International Centre, if you work in the UN or the Atomic Agency, on Tuesday the 9th of April, the IEA has a staff services day, and I will be in the rotunda with all sorts of goodies between 11:30 and 2:30. I'd love it if you came along to say hello. Until then, have a fabulous Feel Good Friday, an amazing weekend. Loads of love, and bye for now.